Good morning, Miss O.
Good morning.
Vicky and I are so happy to have you back on the podcast.
Thank you.
So happy.
And you recently sang at church.
Yes, I
Can you
did.
sing a little bit of what you sang there and tell us what it means to you?
Okay. Every good and perfect gift comes from the Lord above. I can sing my praise to God and tell of God's great love. This is the day, this is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it.
Yay!
My goodness.
And my
So good.
definition for that, which at church I didn't get to say because the crowd cheered for so long and then they kicked me off the stage in the middle of that. What I was going to say was my definition of that, the way I would interpret that, was you can focus a little bit on what has happened or what is going to happen, but focus more on what is happening, or you might miss it. It might go by too fast that you didn't realize.
That's so good. And I'm so glad that we had you on the podcast so you could finally say what you finally, because, you did it twice at church and
Yeah.
didn't get to say your definition either time.
Miss Lisa, she invites us to all these amazing things.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, you do it twice. And I'm like, okay, for
Yeah.
2 services.
Well,
That's
and you did that at a
good.
church that was associated with your grandpa, who you call Bumpa. Did that
Yes.
make it easier to do?
Yeah, it did. Just because I had that, like, faith. I could feel his faith in me, like, you can do it. And also I
Yeah.
was nervous before and Nana, my grandma, told me, they are all rooting for you. Like,
Hmm.
there's nobody out there that's saying, oh, like, that's not rooting for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the head of the choir director introduced you by name, so people knew what your name was, and you could feel
Mm-hmm.
him and his presence around you, right?
Yeah, and he and Miss Lisa, when we were doing a practice before the first service, she was like, she wanted me to say my first and last name so that the whole crowd could hear that, like, I'm his
Yeah.
granddaughter.
Yeah.
My
Which I had
goodness.
a very good sense of pride in that, like,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
it
and
was
you just now listening to you, because I was able to listen to the video also. There, the sound quality, listening to you kind of up close and personal like this was just so beautiful because I could hear even more, in your like beautiful, sweet and delicate voice. But the thing that I love so much, Miss O, is that you're just while you're singing, you're very calm and you look like you're doing something that you love, that it feels joyful for you to do it. Is that true?
yes, it's very true. I love singing, and
Yeah.
some people like doubt me, like, "Oh, you're not a good singer." And then I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to even if I'm not, which is not true. I know that.
Mhm.
So many people have told me that I'm great at it, and that's all I'm going to take. That I
Yeah.
take what people say about my singing bad. I take that and I turn it into energy that makes me like it even more."
That's
Mm.
good because what we don't want you to do is absorb it and have you, believe in things that sometimes people say that they don't mean it or it's not true or they wish they were
Mhm.
you or they don't know how to praise. So they say negative things
Mhm.
instead.
Yeah. And
But
I
I
don't
was, oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I don't take that. I mean,
Yeah.
I take it and then I use it for energy,
My
and
gosh.
I like it's like a catapult. I take it in and I shoot it back.
Ooh, Sorry, got to write that one down. That's
Yeah, that is
really
good.
good.
But for the most part, you've heard a lot of positive things about your singing and your music,
Yeah.
and you practice it a lot with Nana, your grandmother.
I do.
And does that help you to prepare?
It does. It makes me feel a lot more confident in myself
Hmm.
because I know that, like, when I'm performing, that's one less thing to be nervous about because I know what I'm doing.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And, like, I was really nervous before I did that. And I was like thinking I was really nervous, like I just said, and I can sing it and I can space out and just like not realize that I'm singing until I'm done. And then I'm like, wait, was I singing that whole time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of like go outside your body for a
Hmm.
little bit. It's a part of you that's singing, but another part of you kind of like disconnects a little
Hmm.
Yeah.
bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you've practiced it enough that you sort of can do it just automatically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you chose to sing that a cappella in front of the church. I mean,
Uh-huh.
which
Yeah.
meant you had to start, and have your own
Hmm.
motion. And I mean, that's an amazing gift to be able to do that. Was that hard to do?
Yeah.
No, just, well, it was very nerve-wracking, but then I realized, well, mommy, you told me that I'm more like nervous is mostly excitement.
Hmm.
You
Mhm.
told me that, and now I'm like, wait, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
And I took that
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was also extra nerve-wracking. One, of course, like you said, I was by myself. Number two, nobody else was singing. And they
Yeah.
were with somebody else. They were, because you were supposed to say your favorite like verse or like part of the Bible,
Mhm.
and nobody else was singing it, and they were doing it with somebody else, like I just said, and
Mm.
Mhm.
like it was nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And like Nana, my grandmother,
Mhm.
she offered to like play piano next to me, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna try to do it by myself.
She
And when I said yes, I had a lot of like second thoughts, like, I'm by myself. Can I do this? Like, I had so many second thoughts. Like,
Yeah.
So do
is
you
this a
think
good
it
choice?
was it like a test because you'd practiced so much with your Nana, building up the confidence? Were you at that point, Miss O, where you were like, I think I'm ready to take that next step without her, being there accompanying you? Did it feel like a little bit of a test of courage for you?
Um, it was a little bit, but the feeling I was most on was I am in my happy place. I'm
Oh.
in
Mm.
church
Oh.
where I know everybody's rooting for me. I'm
Yeah.
singing, I'm doing one of my favorite things,
Mm-hmm.
and I have my family here. I have so many people who are connected to one of my favorite people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
My bumpa, my grandma, my mom. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I can't be somewhere better than this.
Oh,
That's
oh,
great.
oh, it's
That's
so
so
good.
good. And you ask a lot of questions about your bumpa. I mean, we've talked a lot about, I just as I was getting pregnant with you is when he died, and you know, for whatever, he passed his playbook to you, or however you want to put it. There does seem to be this special bond between you and your bumpa, and I love that watching you in the video today. I can see the picture of him as a young man right over your shoulder. That
Yeah,
poster is right behind you, and
yeah.
I wonder if doing this, singing in that church that he was senior pastor of, did that make you feel closer to him?
It does. It In that moment, like I saw him. I like get visions of him. Like I see him down the aisle in the back by the doors. I saw him once, and then the second service I saw him up on the balcony, and he was just smiling at me, giving me a thumbs up, like rooting for me,
Oh,
which made
yeah.
me feel so like there's no feeling to express that. I was
Mm-hmm.
just
Wow.
Just
Wow.
it's
And was it a little bit overwhelming? Because I know your mom and Nana had explained to you that you know your bumpa was so beloved and you know that, but to be in a place where there's so many people, you know, in one spot that are feeling everything that they loved about him and then giving all of that to you. When you stood there in front of the congregation, not one time, but two times, were you just like taking it all in, looking at all those faces that were smiling back at you?
Yes, I was. I also
Yeah.
saw like 5 people crying, and I'm like, like mommy was even crying. She was so sad.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
Vicky. I was crying.
Oh my
Nana
gosh. Yeah.
Nana doesn't really cry, but I could tell that if she was a person who cried just a little bit more often, she would be crying.
Yeah.
It
Your
was pretty
mom
special.
sent me one of your practice videos,
Mhm.
and when it was at the end of one of our meetings and we were both
Yeah.
running long, we were late for other things, and your mom was like, "Oh, you know, I need to send you, you know, this video of Miss O," and she explained quickly, you know, where you were going to be singing, and it took me, I don't know when, what, 10 seconds? And I was looking for tissues.
Yep.
I felt your bumpa, you know,
Mhm.
and I feel that sometimes even though I didn't get to meet him,
Mm.
everything I learned about him from your mom, you guys are keeping him close by remembering him and celebrating him and keeping him part of your lives. And it's amazing that you did that through singing. So amazing.
Yeah. I feel so
Oh,
close to him.
Yeah.
yeah.
I love
It's
him so much, and there's no way. I feel like what mommy have said and what I feel like is Bumpa left, I came. For that time in between that
Mm-hmm.
I was coming and he has left, that he was giving me wisdom. He was giving me
mhm.
the wisdom. And then as I'm getting older, all that wisdom is coming in. I don't know why I'm thinking of
Mm-hmm.
this, but I'm thinking of it like teeth as they come in. My
Oh,
teeth are going in. I don't
oh,
know why I'm thinking
oh.
of that right now, but you know.
That's that's a good it's a good
Yeah,
metaphor. Coming
I
in a
like it.
little bit at a time.
Yeah,
And
when
Yeah.
every
you're
once in
ready
a
for
while we
them.
have to straighten one.
Yeah. This part of
Yeah,
wisdom is still coming in here. So
yeah,
That's
yeah.
taking a little
true.
Well,
bit.
oh my gosh, we could like run this into the ground, girls. We totally could because
We could
then you need to take care of your wisdom, right? There's all that kind of like, you
Mhm.
know, care and keeping.
Right?
And as
Yeah,
I get older, my wisdom is going to have to be removed.
yeah,
The
yeah,
wisdom
My
teeth.
wisdom teeth.
yeah, yeah. And you'll have to keep like singing and sharing, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because some of
Yeah,
that could be coming out of your mouth past your teeth, right?
right.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
I need to stop. I was gonna get
Wait, you had one more? Oh, you can't leave
yeah,
us
because you
hanging.
need teeth to be able to sing.
You kind
Yeah.
of do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba. I could
Oh
do
my
that when
Yeah.
gosh.
I was had
Hey,
no teeth when
Olivia,
I was 1, but
can you sing us can you sing us out with one more song? Can you sing "You Are My Sunshine" for me?
sure.
Oh.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. I'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful,
So
sweetie.
good.
Thank
So
you.
good.
I don't have any other ending other to say thank you so much, Miss O. So good to see you and Vicky to have us all three together.
Oh
I
my gosh,
love
a special treat.
I love the presence of having you guys here. I love all of it.
Oh.
Me
Well,